Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down the greatest songs that drew inspiration from or directly retold important historical events.
Copper sun sinking low, scatterlings and fugitives.
Number 10, April 29th, 1992, Sublime.
April 26, 1992. There was a riot on the streets. Tell me, where were you?
We know what you're thinking. Isn't he singing April 26th, 1992 in the song? That is correct. The story goes like this. Bradley Nowell sang the wrong date while recording the song, but he and his bandmates were so happy with the take, they just decided to keep it.
Let it burn. Wanna let it burn. Wanna let it burn. Wanna let it burn.
The song commemorates the 1992 Los Angeles riots that took place following the acquittal of the 4 officers involved in the assault of Rodney King. Despite getting the date wrong, this song captured the spirit of righteous indignation felt by LA residents who came together as a destructive force, transcending race to voice a collective anger in response to the verdict.
They said it was for the black man. They said it was for the Mexican and not for the white man. But if you look at the street, it wasn't about Rodney King.
Number 9, Hurricane, Bob Dylan.
Pistol shots ring out in a barroom night. It's a Betty Valentine from the floor above.
The year was 1966, and Reuben Hurricane Carter's boxing career had hit a rough patch. After a series of defeats, his career was up against the ropes. The career-ending blow came outside the ring, however, when he was arrested for a triple homicide, a crime for which he was convicted on despite little evidence.
So my every day in prison was one of fighting against the entire prison system.
Maintaining his innocence throughout his incarceration, he remained wrongly imprisoned until 1985. Roughly halfway through his sentence, Bob Dylan wrote what would become one of his most famous songs, Hurricane, after meeting Carter and his supporters. The song showed unabashed support for the boxer, calling out the overt racial profiling behind the arrest and conviction.
Here's the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done.
Number 8, Cities and Dust, Susie and the Banshees.
Water was running, children were running, you were running out to time.
Nowadays, when someone hears the word Pompeii, the hit song by Bastille might come to mind.
And the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love.
But nearly 2 decades earlier, Susie and the Banshees paid homage to the city of Pompeii, its destruction, rediscovery, and excavation in their song Cities and Dust, which served as the first single off their 7th studio album, Tinderbox. Who is better, or catchier, is up for debate, but there's no denying that Susie and the Banshees paid their respects to this doomed city and its petrified citizens more directly than the contemporary indie pop rockers of Bastille. The video features lava flows and the fossilized remains of people that have made this historical site so unique and haunting. Number 7, I Don't Like Mondays, the Boomtown Rats.
Nobody's gonna go to school today. She's gonna make them stay at home.
Written by Bob Geldof, this song explores the senseless act of violence committed by 16-year-old Brenda Spencer, who carried out a shooting at a San Diego elementary school in 1979.
Do you remember the gun?
I remember the rifle because I had gotten that a month previous.
She killed the principal and the custodian, additionally wounding 8 children and a police officer. When asked why she did it, she replied, "I don't like Mondays. This livens up the day." Geldof and his bandmates, the Boomtown Rats, performed the new song less than a month later.
Tell me why I don't like Monday. Tell me why I don't like Monday.
It resonated so well with fans both in the UK and on their US tour that it was released as a single rather than the B-side they initially imagined.
School's out early, and soon we'll be learning, but the lesson today is out your tie.
Number 6, Smoke on the Water, Deep Purple.
And this song here tells the story of most of the things that happened while we were out there, particularly the burning down of the casino the night we were there watching the show.
It's a true classic and contains one of the most recognizable guitar riffs ever played. In fact, we ranked it as the 5th greatest guitar riff of all time. For years, the popular song kept people asking what the song meant. However, as John Lord explains, it simply recounts their failed attempt to record at the closed Montreux Casino during its winter renovations. A flare was set off during the final live performance of the season, which resulted in the entire casino complex burning to the ground. They recorded elsewhere, but the image of the casino smoke creeping across the water of Lake Geneva was an image that stuck with bassist Roger Glover. Number 5, Zombie, The Cranberries.
Another head hangs lowly, child will slowly take it.
No, it's not about a zombie apocalypse. Sadly, this song, named after a fictitious monster, documents the all-too-real horrors of the bomb attacks perpetrated by the Irish Revolutionary Army in the early 90s. Written by the Cranberries while on their 1993 tour, it specifically commemorates the death of 2 young boys, Jonathan Ball and Tim Berry, killed by one of 2 bombs set off in Warrington, England that same year.
We have always wanted to see peace building rather than the continuation of the armed struggle.
The song was uncharacteristically grim and heavy for the band, but was nonetheless released as the lead single for their second album. Its powerful lyrics and music earned the band a Best Song Award at the 1995 MTV Europe Music Video Awards.
What's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie.
Number 4, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, Gordon Lightfoot.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
Gordon Lightfoot has often been called Canada's greatest songwriter. The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is a heart-wrenching 6.5-minute ballad that tells the tragic story of a massive freighter ship that sank on Lake Superior in 1975.
They might have split up or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water.
Traveling from the Duluth, Minnesota area to Detroit, she was caught in a heavy storm, which brought with it hurricane-level winds and waves up to 35 feet in height. The last communication from the ship came at 7:10 p.m. on November 10th. It read, "We are holding our own." Minutes later, she sank, taking all 29 men aboard with her.
Superior, they said, never gives up. It did when the gales of November come early.
Number 3, Ohio, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. The 1970s may very well have been the golden age of protest songs. On May 2, 1970, the Ohio Army National Guard was called to quell a student demonstration that had turned violent. On May 4th, a day that would go on to be remembered as the Kent State Massacre, things turned deadly when the guards opened fire on a group of students, killing 4 and wounding 9. This elicited a number of musical reactions from artists such as Steve Miller Band, the Beach Boys, and Bruce Springsteen. Despite being banned on various AM stations, Ohio became the counterculture anthem following the event.
This summer I hear the drumming, in Ohio.
Number 2, Sunday Bloody Sunday, U2.
I can't believe the news today. I can't close my eyes and make it go away.
Pride Died in the Name of Love might have been met with mixed critical reception at the time of its release, but over the years, it has aged relatively gracefully.
One man washed on an empty beach. One man betrayed with a kiss.
The reality is, try as he might, Bono could never sing about American civil rights nearly as successfully as he did the conflict in Northern Ireland on the track Sunday Bloody Sunday. The song refers to not only one, but two Bloody Sundays.
On January 30th, 1972, British paratroopers opened fire on unarmed civil rights demonstrators,
which took place in 1920 and again in 1972. In the lyrics, Bono laments the loss of life resulting from the long history of Irish-British conflict in Ireland. It's considered one of their greatest songs. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Run to the Hills, Iron Maiden, laments the violence of European colonization in North America.
Run to the hills. Run for your life.
Joan of Arc, Leonard Cohen, tells the tragic tale of this heroic French figure's fiery end. Spanish Bombs, The Clash, reflects on the Spanish Civil War.
Spanish bombs, yo te quiero y bonito, yo te quiero, oh my corazón.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. American Pie, Don McLean.
Long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile.
The artist behind the song and his refusal to discuss the lyrics and their meaning are almost as famous as the song itself. There's no denying that The Day the Music Died is a direct reference to one of the greatest losses in musical history.
The day the music died.
McLean has gone on record admitting that the first verse of the song was an exercise in expressing his long-stewing grief over the death of Buddy Holly and that fateful plane crash that also took the lives of Richie Valens and J.P. Richardson Jr. But this song, in all its poetic nuance, is truly a series of snapshots, a sprawling pastiche of American popular culture and its landscape in the years following that 1959 accident.
By Miss American Pie, drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Do you agree with our list? What are some of your favorite songs inspired by historical events?
Singing this will be the day that I die.
Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.